Okay, so this is week two. So some updates on what you're going to be doing this week. Essentially, remember your discussion board. You should have read the material that's in the course schedule, which would be Hawthorne, Perkins Gilman, and Poe. Okay, and answer the discussion board on those short stories. I'll have a writing prompt set up for you to sort of guide your thinking about those particular stories. You'll see in the week two folder there's a film journal presentation, which is cool because you have a film journal due this week, and that will be due June 4th at midnight through turnitin.com. And so make sure that you're working on that. Watch the presentation carefully. You want to make sure that you're doing the film journal correctly. You're citing the film. You're citing a review of the film by a reviewer, not just some schmo on Amazon or IMDb, okay? You're avoiding subjectivity. You're coming up with an argument, okay? You will find a document that is Critical Lenses PowerPoint document presentation, and that was, if I remember correctly, in the week one folder, and that will provide a way of allowing you to pursue your film journal. And so you could say, okay, I'm watching Dr. Strangelove, and so what is a new historicist's perspective on that? I would just need to put it in the context of the time period, 1964, so thinking about stuff like Cuban Missile Crisis, blah, blah, blah. And so you're coming up with an argument, all right? And there's a bunch of ways of doing it, examining the roles of women, class structure, et cetera, all the stuff that was covered in that previous presentation. So again, as you go through the weeks, okay, most of the stuff that you see in there is somewhat supplemental, if you've been reading the text, that is, and the material that you should really be paying attention to in those folders is whenever I have a presentation on a particular assignment, because that sort of goes through the ins and outs of the assignment. Also, check out the rubric on the announcements page. That will give you some guidance in terms of how I'll be grading your paper. But keep an eye on that presentation. Work on your film journal this week. Get that in by Saturday. Your discussion board is still active, so you'll have basically from Sunday, Poe, Gilman, Hawthorne, webcam post by Wednesday, and then your two typed responses should be Friday night. And so that's all the stuff that we're doing this week. If you wanted to look ahead and read the poetry, there is an announcement that goes through all the poems that we're going to be reading in week three. So you might want to get a little bit of a jump on that. And then they'll bleed over a little bit into week four. And week four is our first paper. We'll talk more about how we'll approach that a little bit later on. So I will see you next week. And so, of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.